Depression isn't weakness, it's emotional exhaustion.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our next podcast session. Joining us today is Dr. Sandeep, Chief Ayurvedic Practitioner, Krishnendu Ayurveda Hospital, and Nirava Holistic Center. We'll be discussing one of the most relevant topics of today's generation, depression. Hello, Sandeep. So, this is something we are seeing around us much more than ever, where people come to us and tell, I don't feel like myself. I am here, I am present, but I don't feel like I am here at the moment. I feel absolutely empty for no reason. I have bouts of crying on and off without any trigger. And I feel that it is affecting all the generations around us today, irrespective of age. So, why has depression become so widespread in our current generation and in current lives of everybody?
One of the biggest myths is that depression happens suddenly. But in reality, depression is usually the final chapter of a long-term emotional exhaustion. We live in a world where the mind works non-stop. But the heart barely gets time to breathe. Constant digital overload, comparison, pressure to perform, the need to stay fine all the time, it slowly weakens the nervous system. Ayurveda calls this the manasiga balahani, means the loss of mental strength. Modern psychiatry calls it chronic stress leading to neurochemical imbalances. So different words, but same truth. The mind gets tired long before the body shows symptoms.
So most of the people around us don't even realize that they are in depression until it's actually very deep. So what are the earliest signs that you look for?
So the early signs are subtle, almost invisible. So some people, they start waking up tired, feeling emotionally flat, losing interest in hobbies, wanting to be isolated and feeling numb instead of sad. Some people get overthinking and guilt, even the appetite, the gut starts to feel different, sleep pattern changes, unexpected body aches, even low motivation and feeling that disconnect from life. But the deepest sign is when someone says, I'm alive, but I don't feel alive. That usually means the emotional battery is drained.
People often ask me, how is depression different from normal sadness?
Good question. So sadness has a reason, but depression feels like sadness without a reason. Sadness moves, depression stays. Sadness comes from an event like a breakup or a loss or disappointment. But depression comes from a long-term invisibility of emotions. And sadness sometimes feels heavy, but in depression, on the other hand, you feel empty. That emptiness is the most dangerous part because people don't know how to explain it.
So when people come to you with depression, what is the first thing you would want them to understand?
I normally say, you're not broken, you're just exhausted. So depression is not weakness or lack of discipline or a personality flaw. It's simply the mind saying, I've been strong for too long without support. So the understanding itself is healing.
So modern medicine, we talk about serotonin and dopamine, etc., which plays a major role in depression. So how does Ayurveda interpret?
Ayurveda explains depression through disturbances in the vata or prana vata, and the pitta dosha, it's called the sadhaka pitta or emotional processing part, and also the kapha dosha, it's called tarpaga kapha or emotional nourishing part, and the agni or the digestive fire that fuels the clarity. So when all of these doshas derange, the prana becomes unstable, and this causes anxiety, fear, overthinking. So when it goes on too long, the kapha in the body rises, and this causes this heaviness, emptiness, and the dullness. In modern explanation, the nervous system goes from hyperactive to a shutdown mode. Now, shutdown is what people experience as depression.
What is the first step in treating depression at your center?
So normally here we focus on creating emotional safety before anything else. So healing starts when the nervous system feels protected. So we begin with external therapies like relaxation massages, deep calming therapies like Shirodhara and Talapudichil, and also soft breathwork programs like pranayama, which helps to relax the brain. And in the sleep side, we try to give them a sleep pattern which brings in a sleep rhythm. And also, next is detox therapies we do to cleanse the gut to reduce the toxin loads. And then post detox, we give rasayana, basically medicines to nourish your brain. And gentle routines are brought in, and daily sunlight exposure is very important. That's why yoga is also trained in the morning. When you do all this together, once you get that safe feeling, you slowly get to know how to relax. Only after this phase, a deeper healing can happen. Then only your digestion, your emotions, your energy begins to reset.
So, how soon do people start feeling that shift?
So normally within the first week, we see simple changes, like their face softens, the heaviness reduces, or the sleep slowly becomes more deeper, and anxiety levels also reduces. And then slowly they start feeling better from there on.
So, to all the listeners who has been silently struggling, what would you like to tell them today?
I would tell them this: you're not alone, you're not the problem. Depression doesn't mean you failed. It means you carried things silently that were too heavy for too long. You deserve rest, you deserve support, and you deserve to feel alive again. And with gentle help and emotional rhythm and the right environment, depression is absolutely treatable.
I'm sure that was a very insightful session for all of you. Thank you for joining us and hoping to see you all for our next session.
Book your consultation today at 954 448 8333 and start your healing journey. Follow on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify,